Alright lads, let's talk about fuel. Because here's the thing, you could have the best training program in the world, but if you're turning up to the gym every day running on fumes, you're not going to be able to perform how you want to. Now, if you've been coming to the channel for long enough and you've heard me talk about hybrid training, you know that it comprises of both strength and conditioning. That means that the way you fuel your session is going to change depending on which one of these you're biasing in your session. So a session that is mainly comprised of strength aspect is going to look a lot different than sessions that are mainly focused on conditioning/running. So today I'm just going to remove all the guesswork for you and make it very simple and give you an actual blueprint for you to go away and follow that will teach you exactly how to fuel for your strength and your conditioning/running sessions. And no, it's not going to be a science lecture full of like weird online coaching jargon or professional jargon. It's going to be stuff that you can understand and stuff you can go away and implement straight away. So part one, your strength sessions. How should you fuel for them? Now, when your session is mainly comprised of strength elements and you need to fuel here for power and short bursts of energy, the last thing you want to do is be at that top set of your deadlift and have nothing in the tank to go and attack it. So here's exactly what I do in terms of a pre-workout meal. Now, I just want to add a quick caveat here. In an ideal world, you ideally want to be having this pre-workout meal around an hour to an hour and a half before you're going to go to the gym. Gives your body enough time to digest the food and partition the nutrients where it needs to go around the body. But I'm not naive in thinking that life gets in the way sometimes and you can't have things your own way all the time. So I'm also going to give you an alternative meal that you can have if you're short on time, and some of the reasons why I'd structure my meals this way. Now, this will come to effect for something like you've got half an hour before you go to the gym, you're in the car and you need a pre-workout meal. So if you do have the luxury of having around an hour to an hour and a half before you go to the gym, then you want a combination of something that's high in carbs, something that's high in protein, and something that is very limited in the fats. Now, this is because fats are the hardest macro to digest. So although for like a really big session it could be an extra source of fuel that you can have, you want to limit this for things like indigestion. Then if your digestion slows down, you're not going to be able to utilize the carbs and the protein properly. So an example of this could be the boring chicken and rice with a little bit of avocado for fats, for example, or something a little bit better in my opinion, like a bagel and a couple of eggs. You're getting in your carbs from your bagel and you're getting in your proteins and your fats from things like your eggs. Now, if you're a little bit shorter on time and you only have like half an hour to 45 minutes before you go and train, all I'm trying to think here is, what can I have that is light on my stomach and easy to digest, aka move all of that good stuff that you need around your body the fastest. So for here, something like a banana with a little bit of honey and a protein shake, or a couple of rice cakes with some honey. Just something that is very easy to prepare. You can have it on your way to the gym and it's going to be a readily source of fuel available for you when you enter the gym. Now, the general rule of thumb here when you're eating so close to your session is keeping it simple so your stomach isn't fighting for its life before you go and deadlift. Oh, and a little bonus you can put in here as well, especially if you're doing a true hybrid session and you've got elements of cardio sprinkled in as well, is putting in a good intra workout as well. And again, this doesn't have to be anything fancy at all, just like some water and some electrolytes. And if you're really pushing hard and there is big bouts of cardio added in at the end of your strength session, then having like a carb powder in as well will really help you at the back end of these sessions. And again, same thing as your pre-workout in your post-workout, a form of carbs, a form of protein, and again limiting the amount of fats that you have for the exact same reason as your pre-workout. Your protein to repair all that broken down muscle tissue, your carbs to replenish the glycogen that you've lost in your session, and then limited carbs so you don't slow down your digestion, and then all that nutrients from your protein and carbs can partition quicker around your body. PS here for all the nerds, there's no actual anabolic window here, so you don't have to have this within 5 minutes of putting down your last set. As long as you're having this within a couple of hours of finishing your session, you're going to get everything you need back in your body. So don't be sprinting into your car to have your protein shake, just have it when you get home if you want to. Now, when it comes to your conditioning sessions and your running sessions, the priority shifts slightly. It's less about being fuller and more about being light, but still having enough fuel and able to carry you through your sessions. But the duration of these cardio or running sessions will also dictate what kind of fuel you get into your body. So for a pre-workout here, again, I will go something high carb and low fat. For example, a bowl of oats with some fruit, and I'd have this around 60 to 90 minutes before my session again. But if you're either training closer, as in half an hour before, or you're training first thing in the morning, then I'd stick to some quicker carbs, some more easily releasing or quicker releasing carbs, such as a banana, 2 bagels with some jam or some honey. And if you're either really short on time or training early in the morning and you don't want to have a lot on your stomach, then some carb gels and things like that can also be helpful. Now, like I said before, the duration of this session will dictate what you're having. So for runs under an hour or cardio sessions under an hour, you don't really need to eat, or something like that carb gel could be something that's really handy. Or you can just have some water and some electrolytes if you don't want any carb gel, because I know some people have some digestive issues with them. But if your runs are over an hour or it's a really intense cardio session, then I definitely recommend your carb gels and having around 30 to 60 grams of carbs added in per hour, again depending on the intensity of the session. And to round it up with your post-workout session, this is quite similar or very similar to your strength session. Carbs and protein back in your body again, but you probably would have burned through a significantly higher amount of glycogen through this session compared to your strength-based session. So getting some carbs, and in most instances getting some easy releasing sugars back in your body, i.e. Lucozade or even some jellies, would be my first port of call. Then again, later on in the day, you can start to bring in some of your more nutrient dense food sources, stuff that's high in protein, stuff that's high in carbs, and then also sprinkle in your fats here as well if you're having a longer window from that initial post-workout meal or fuel source. And that's it. It's quite easy. I told you it was simple. Now, if this video was of any help to you, but you still want a bit more information that's specific to you and to your goals, then just comment the word 27 in the comment box below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But for now, my friend, see you on the next one.